Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really major evolution in the world of data privacy. The ISO 27701 standard is getting a massive update, and honestly, it signals a much bigger shift than you might think. We're seeing privacy grow up. It's moving from just being a part of IT security to becoming its own critical business discipline. So let's break down exactly what's happening. And that's really the perfect way to frame this. What happens when a standard grows up? Well, ISO 27001 isn't just getting a minor update, it's basically moving out of its parents' house and becoming fully independent.
And this slide right here really nails the change. Just look at the shift in the language. The 2019 version was officially called an extension to ISO 27001. See that? But the new 2025 version, it completely drops that phrase. The new title frames it as a complete privacy information management system all on its own. It's a subtle change in words, but it's a really powerful signal of its new independent status.
So, here it is, the single most important takeaway. ISO 27701 is no longer just an add-on. This means you will not be required to implement the big information security standard, ISO 27001, first. It can now be implemented and certified all by itself. It's a huge deal.
So let's dig in and explore what this new independence, this decoupling from ISO 27001, actually means for organizations trying to manage privacy in the real world.
What we're really talking about now is a standalone PIMS, a privacy information management system. Think of it like this. It's now a self-contained framework. It has all the necessary parts built right in to set up, maintain, and improve how you handle personal data without needing to lean on another standard for its core structure. Everything you need is under one roof.
And a direct result of this independence is that the standard no longer needs to formally point to these other heavy hitters from the security world. Before, these references were absolutely essential because 27701 was borrowing their structure. But now that it has its own, these are no longer required.
So, how exactly does this new independence change the standard's foundation? Let's take a look inside the new structure to see how it's been rebuilt from the ground up to really stand on its own 2 feet. This table just lays it all out perfectly. You can see that in the 2019 version, all the core management system stuff, like understanding your organization's context, leadership commitment, planning, they were all just extensions of ISO 27001. But look at the 2025 version. They are now fully integrated, new, built-in clauses.
So now ISO 2771 has its own full set of management clauses, from 4 all the way through 10. And what's great about this is that the structure now aligns with other major ISO standards. This makes it feel way more familiar and robust for anyone who's worked with ISO frameworks before. It's now a complete top-to-bottom management system.
Okay, so the structure is all new. We get it. But what about the actual controls? The specific things you need to do. Let's break down what's new and, just as importantly, what's staying the same.
To establish its own solid security foundation without having to lean on ISO 27001, the new standard introduces 29 new information security controls. Let's take a quick look at what some of those are.
These new controls cover some really fundamental security practices. But here's the key thing. If your organization is already familiar with ISO 27001, these are going to look very recognizable. They're basically providing a baseline of security directly within the privacy standard, which is something it has to do now that it's been decoupled. And here it is. This is probably the best news of all. If you've already done the hard work of implementing the specific privacy controls from the 2019 version, all that guidance for PII controllers and processors, that work is safe. The core requirements that make this a privacy standard haven't changed. With all these changes, the next logical question is pretty obvious. When is this all happening, and what do I actually need to do? So let's take a look at the timeline. All right, so the new standard is expected to be officially released in October 2025. And from that day, organizations will get a 3-year window to transition their certification. The final hard deadline is October 2028. So you've got some time, but you definitely don't want to wait until the last minute. And for those of you who are already certified and maybe feeling a little bit anxious, the source material offers this great piece of reassurance, because a lot of the new security controls line up with what you were probably already doing for ISO 27001. The transition should be relatively seamless. It's really more of a structural realignment than a complete overhaul. So, what you should really take away from all this is that the time to act is now. You should start assessing these changes, figuring out how they map to your current system, and begin planning your organization's transition to this new independent standard.
And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Your privacy program might be compliant today, and that's great, but this shift really represents the future of privacy management. So the real question is your program ready for tomorrow's standalone future?